Hey Chris, here's your 5-minute bass guitar notes lesson. So you got 4 strings on the bass. The piano note name for these strings is E, A, D, and G. So you probably knew that. So those are the staff name of the notes. But there's also tab names for notes. And so for in the Fajitas song, I put tab names. The tab name tells you the string and the fret. So if I say E3, or if the tab is E3, I'm going to do the E string, which is this string, and the 3rd fret. So E3 is the tab name for that note. Now, on the staff, it's actually called a G, but the tab name is E3. So A5 would be the A string, the 2nd string from the top, 5th fret. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the dots help 3, 5, 7, 9, and 12. So where you got the 2 dots is 12, the 12th fret, and that's an octave higher. So it tells you the note, like if you're doing the E string and then you do the double dots, it's the E an octave higher. And then the A. So the dots help you find the fret. You probably knew that too, but just in case. Okay, so in Fajitas, let's look at the tab. You can see the tab notes are G0. That means the open string. G without any frets. G7 would be the 3rd dot, the 7th fret on the G string. And then D0 would be the D string with no fret. So it's G0, D7, D0. And that just repeats over and over, blah, blah, blah. So the way that works is G0 is your lowest string or the highest pitch string. So I'm going to play that open, G0. And then I'm going to play D7, which is the 7th fret on the G string. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You can see it's the 3rd dot. So the dots tend to be odd numbers, 3, 5, 7, 9, until you get to 12. So G7 is here. G7 is actually a D note, but the tab name is G7. So, and then D0 is the D string, no fret, so just open string, no left hand. So you got 2 open strings and just 1 note that you actually use your left hand on. So G0, D7, D0, G. So it's just G0, I'm plucking the G string, open, no left hand, and then I'm doing the G7, so I'm plucking the G string, and I'm holding the 7th fret, so that's G7, which is actually a D note, so G7, And then I'm plucking the D string. Eddie ate dynamite, goodbye. So the dynamite string. No left hand, so it's D0. Then back to G0. G0, G7, and then D0, which is this. Let me back up a little bit. See the full. See, is there some way to give you the full picture here? So G0, G7, D0. So I'm only actually pushing one string with my left hand because there's two open strings, the G0 and the D0. Now, the next on the bridge, there's a few more notes to deal with. You got A1, which is a B flat, but the tab name is A1. You got A0, which is the A string open. You got E3, which is the E string 3rd fret, but it's actually a G on the staff, but it's the tab name. So you got the note name and the tab name. So I called it tabs. E0 is the E string open. E3, you're back to the 3rd fret on the E string. D0 is the open D string. D2 is the 2nd fret on the D string. And the D0, you're back to the open string again. And then you repeat that 3 times on the bridge. So the way that works is you got the A1, which is the A string 1st fret. Now you got A0, which is the open string. And then you got E3, which is the 3rd fret E string. And then E0, no left hand, open string, E3. And then you have D0, D2, D0. So I played the D string, D2, and then D0. So that little pattern is A1, A0, E3, E0, E3, D0, D2, D0. So together. Then it does that 3 times. So again, that was A1, A0, E3, E0, E3, D0, no left hand, D2, D0, no left hand. And then it does a little tag at the end, A0, A2, A0, so A0, A2, A0, D2, D0. So it goes fajitas. So that's the shout. Fajitas. And you're back to, oops. 3 times. Fajitas. And that's the whole song. You got the chorus. Da 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 bum. Ba 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 ba. Da 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 da. Ba da da da. Ba da da da. Da 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 da. Fajitas. Maybe back to. That's your G12, which is the octave higher. Okay, what was that? 10 minutes. All right, 10-minute notes lesson.